Hi, this is Matt, and you're listening to Bluegrass Jam Along, the podcast for anyone and everyone who plays bluegrass. Hey, welcome back everybody. It's Friday and I've got another Food for Thought episode. Just a quick one, but something that happened to me this week that made me think, and I thought I'd share it with you. And it's a simple one about the idea of letting go of perfection. And I'll tell you how it came about. So I went for a jam earlier in the week with a couple of local guys who I've sort of played with them individually, but the three of us hadn't sat down and jammed together before. And it was great, really nice thing to do. And as we were going, we just sort of shouted out tunes we knew as we went. And we either knew them or a couple of us would work it out and we'd see how we got on. And one of them was Black Mountain Rag. And I said, look, should we ever go at Black Mountain Rag? And one of the banjo players said, yeah, but I can do it in G or A. I don't know it in D, which is what I played it in. And I thought, okay. So I kept my capo on, second fret, playing in G shapes, sort of moved everything down a string and played around a bit and sort of started playing it in A. And he joined in and we played it in A. And like mostly I could do it. And it's actually sounded a bit better to me than some of the tunes that I knew better in the right key. And I realised on the way home on the train afterwards, the reason was that I just wasn't expecting it to sound great. I'd let go of this idea that I was going to play it perfectly because I didn't know it in that key and I just played it. And what came out was a bit more relaxed as a result. And it sort of mirrors something that I heard Chris Eldridge say in a video response over on Artist Works, where I'm a student on his course. And he was talking about the idea of playing fast. And he said, it's great. You can set your metronome 2 BPM a day faster and work your way up to it. And that works. And that's perfect. You do that. That's great. But try this. Pick a tempo that you're really comfortable playing a tune at. Maybe it's 90 BPM, maybe it's 100. And then set your metronome ahead of that to the point you can't play it, like 125, whatever. And the point of that is that you don't expect yourself to play it well. So you're not worried about really tensing up and struggling and trying to get perfect. What you're worried about is different. And so actually you can just relax, play it really sloppily. Don't worry about that. But learn to feel how your picking hand feels. Just relaxed, doing the backwards, forwards, up and down motion at a really fast speed, because that's what you need to learn, is to stay relaxed at speed. And the two of them just seem really linked, like this idea that if you're not trying for perfection, then maybe something else can emerge in its place. Because I've had so many experiences where I've learned a thing and then in a jam with other people, at a gig, at a recording, it just doesn't come out quite right because you're trying to make it perfect. And actually maybe what we should be doing is just learning to be relaxed in different scenarios and at different tempos and and it just sort of made me think differently. I was able to do something I didn't think I could and do it better than some of the things that I thought I actually could. And why was that? And it's just that sort of, I guess, that sense of getting out of my own way. And I found that really interesting, and it sort of sat in my head all week and linked back to some things Chris said, some things that you might read in The Inner Game of Music, maybe some things from the Brain Joe book, if you've read that. And if you haven't, go back and check out my interview with Josh Turknett, who wrote it, because he's a fascinating guy. I'll stick a link in the show notes, but that's a really cool book about learning music. And some things Bryan Sutton said, and it's just, it's one of those lessons. I'd read it, and I actually felt it through learning it and physically being in that spot. So, that's the thought for today. Is letting go of perfect a doorway to letting something else through instead? And is it something we should all try? I think the answer is yes, but your answer might be different. But just wanted to share that with you, really. Thanks to Tom and to Ant, who I was jamming with earlier in the week. If you're listening, guys, thank you very much. It was great, and thanks for giving me that experience. That's it. That's the thought. That's food for thought for today. Go about your weekend. Have a great time. I'll see you next week with more regular episodes. But have a great weekend and happy picking. Bluegrass Jam Along is proud to be sponsored by Collings Guitars and Mandolins, making some of the finest guitars and mandolins in the world since the 1970s. Visit collingsguitars.com and find out why.